Olá a todos, bem-vindos ao canal Renda Maior. O meu nome é Renda Nunes e hoje estamos aqui no Dubai para mostrar o vlog da Binance Blockchain Week. Não perca, já a seguir.
História financeira do mundo. Aqui a parte mais interessante é a atualização já do euro ao Ethereum.
Then you can really start to see the benefits and the transformation around that. So of course we're starting to see more and more use cases coming within the trade and supply chain areas. And then of course that is going to benefit, for example, a lot of small medium enterprises. Again, you're really addressing the sustainability issue. You take continents like Africa, it's going to be the biggest trading bloc in the world, right? And you start to apply things like blockchain, you eliminate things like corruption, you eliminate things like anti-money laundering and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's very, very important that I think we start to contextualize how we can actually apply the technology and how that's going to bring ripple benefits for people.
So Reef is a layer 1 blockchain. We are fully EVM compatible, so Solidity smart contracts can be deployed like out of the box. We have a provider and you can use that. It's like has ethers, library, APIs. There's a Hardcat plugin for deploying. So we have all the basic layer done. Now we're bootstrapping the ecosystem, so we get all the dApps and the fun stuff. We focus lately more on the NFTs and gaming because that's more fun, and it's like the branding is also nice, so it fits into that environment.
Just getting started, investigators would have to use an old-fashioned block explorer, an Excel spreadsheet, and plot out the transactions. But now we have this great technology where individuals can follow the flow. It's just getting a lot more difficult when you see these exploits happen on the financial fraud side for the attackers to launder the funds. We're seeing chain hops or NFT buys and all this other stuff, but the blockchain is very transparent, and it allows investigators to follow the flows very easily compared to traditional old school fiat crime.
Então, David, conta-nos sobre o teu projeto.
Bom, eu tenho um projeto no Brasil já tem alguns anos. Eu sou educador financeiro, economista de formação, e eu iniciei o meu projeto como um trabalho paralelo, porém tomou uma proporção gigante e as pessoas começaram a gostar muito do trabalho, e aí hoje eu tô full no YouTube, no Instagram, ajudando muitas pessoas. Criei uma comunidade para ajudar a difundir a educação financeira no Brasil. Hoje o canal tem 106 mil inscritos no YouTube. E o meu esforço é para levar a educação financeira, fazer com que o brasileiro invista melhor o dinheiro, tenha mais qualidade de vida.
Muito bem. E onde é que as pessoas se podem encontrar?
O canal do YouTube se chama A Ótica do Dinheiro.
Ok.
O meu Instagram é David Guedes, com I no fim, David Guedes. E também podem me encontrar no Twitter, David_Guedes.
E em relação às criptomoedas, como é que isto começou?
Criptomoedas entraram na minha vida muito antes de eu começar a investir. Eu conheci criptomoedas em torno de 2015, 2016. Porém, no começo era algo um pouco distante para mim, porque eu tive muita dificuldade de compreender a tecnologia no início. Mas depois, passado um tempo, eu comecei a me interessar cada vez mais, e a partir do momento em que eu entendi de fato o tamanho, a imponência da blockchain, do Bitcoin, aí sim eu passei a investir. Isso já em 2018, foi a primeira compra que eu fiz, R$1.000, mas comecei ali, e aí depois de estar com a pele em risco foi que eu comecei a admirar ainda mais os projetos, conhecer outros projetos. Depois veio o Ether, veio outras altcoins, né?
E qual é a sua cripto favorita?
Minha cripto favorita é o Bitcoin, porque é o que se provou no tempo até hoje. Eu acho que o Bitcoin acaba por ser uma potencial reserva de valor de fato. Acho que todas as pessoas que buscam a liberdade de fato devem ter Bitcoin. Eu acho que é primordial isso. O Bitcoin liberta, o Bitcoin traz essa liberdade global. O Bitcoin é uma moeda global de fato. E dentre todas as criptomoedas, se nós pegarmos o tempo, desde a criação do Bitcoin até hoje, segue no topo e deve ser assim pelos próximos anos.
Alguma moeda que achas promissora?
Gosto bastante, em segundo lugar, de Ethereum. Por toda a tecnologia que envolve, ele não é um competidor do Bitcoin, é uma outra tecnologia. Então, a partir do momento que a gente entende aquilo que abre o Ethereum e para onde está caminhando agora com o Ethereum 2.0, uma evolução, de fato é algo bem descentralizado e também que traz uma experiência completamente diferente para vários outros protocolos, né? Serve de base para outros protocolos. Então, eu acredito muito na evolução do Ethereum e acredito que isso vai ser perpétuo, assim como o Bitcoin. Também invisto em alguns outros projetos com um valor um pouco menor, né? Mas acreditando muito no futuro deles, aí como um potencial, algo um pouco mais arriscado, mas com um potencial muito grande. Projetos como da palestra que a gente acabou de ver sobre The Sandbox, metaverso. Gosto bastante de outros projetos como Avalanche, como Solana, como Ada Cardano. São projetos que me agradam bastante, tenho um bom valor investido em cada um deles e acredito muito no futuro dessas criptos. Óbvio, elas carregam um risco um pouco maior, mas eu acredito no potencial delas.
Muito bem, obrigada, David. Já sabem,
Obrigado,
sigam o David nas redes sociais.
Bom, eu quero agradecer também a oportunidade de participar do canal Renda Maior. Já sou fã, gostei muito de participar aqui. Um abraço especial para todo mundo de Portugal. por quem eu tenho um carinho imenso, tenho origens portuguesas e meu sonho é ir um dia para Portugal. Espero conhecer muitos de vocês aí, já vou me colocar à disposição para conhecer os portugueses quando eu for. Me sigam nas redes sociais e podem me mandar mensagem, fiquem à vontade para isso. Um dia, quem sabe, a gente se conhece aí. Forte abraço, turma!
Sort of the outset of investigating these kinds of cases, that there's nothing wrong with the technology, it's just sort of in what way is it applied, and some people are going to abuse it the same way that they abuse cash or any other form of currency, and so at that point you got to step in. So I mean, clearly some regulation is necessary, which can be a impediment to privacy in some people's view, but some of it is clearly necessary. And I think that there are limits, there are lines to be drawn, but I think something to consider is that the regulation is not only necessary, but oftentimes, so long as it's not prohibitive to the innovation, let's say, it can go a long way in sort of bringing the industry into the mainstream. And I think that now, the big issue, and I think the big problem right now, is clarity. And I think that a lot of the industry is just looking for clarity on these kinds of issues. And okay, yeah, of course there's going to be some form of regulation, but what is the regulation, and are we just shadow boxing here, which I think has been a frustration of industry for quite some time. Obviously, at least in the United States, Joe Biden's recent executive order was all you federal agencies have to get together and figure out who's regulating what and how you're regulating it so that industry has some sort of a guidepost.
So Injective is a blockchain optimized for building DeFi apps. Basically, you can build any kind of trading, savings, lending, or derivatives app on top of Injective. We're connected with most major chains like Terra, Ethereum, Cosmos. So if you build a dApp here, you get to connect with the rest of the world. There are no gas fees. We've already achieved a lot. The mainnet launched 3 months ago. We've already done over $5 billion in volume. There's about 10 dApps on Injective already. We're actually the first incubated project of Binance back in 2018. We also went on Binance Launchpad in 2020. So yeah, it's exciting to be at the Binance conference and show Injective to the world.
But here in Web3, you essentially want you to be owner of your private key, and then you sign from there, right? So that kind of, like, if you go to that extreme, idealist user experience, then it is going to have some sort of these Web3 UI UX challenges. But I recently met some teams. What they are doing is, like, I feel that we will not go from 0 to 1 in one go, right? It will take a lot of time for average individual to understand that. So we need these middle solutions, and there are so many teams and companies who are working on these Web 2 kind of experience wallets, right? Like browser wallets, like Portis and Venly, and there are so many teams like that. Last thing I said is that, guys, do not miss it.
Yeah.
Do not miss it, even though you don't understand right now. But this is, like, people who know, they know that this is very natural progression to how we human beings interact. And I request you all, do not miss it. Even if you don't agree with it, keep learning about it, keep reading about it. Don't discard it like out of your life. Otherwise, it will come as a surprise to you, to the people, like it came when they thought internet was nothing, right? And then today everything is internet.
Jagdeep, do you have any thoughts and predictions in terms of when we can bring an entire new generation into Web3?
Yeah, so Google's removing the third-party cookies soon, so this is going to be a big problem. This means that you can't create a book on the individual anymore in the same way. And so also did a census in the EU, and they actually show that 60 or 70% of the individuals are now demanding that they either be compensated for their data or they are proven without a doubt that they control their information. There's no honeypots. It's like, you pay me for the data. I don't have to give it to you for free, or I don't want you to have a book on me. So when Google implements this change, this means that everyone has to find a different way to create the books on people and have that implemented in their business processes.
I started my channel. Well, I'm coming from the futures market, the traditional futures market, and then I started to find out about Bitcoin and crypto, and I started analyzing the markets. I loved it, and then in 2018, I decided to start a channel. just to teach people about technical analysis, analyzing the market. It started as a hobby, and it has evolved into something else, which I'm very grateful. And that's more or less how I started in this ecosystem.
In the name, what it is the name of your channel?
Yeah, my channel is called Crypto Analysis.
Okay.
If you wanna look for it.
And how you start in crypto and start to invest in crypto, or your favorite crypto, if you
Yes.
can tell us.
Well, I started to hear about crypto and about Bitcoin when, you know, the 2017 market at the top, you know, when it got to 20,000 for the first time. Everyone was talking about it, as usual. You know, when the prices goes up, everyone is, you know, starts to talk about it. So, but I saw that it was too high, so I didn't, you know, I decided not to invest. I decided to educate myself first before investing. And then when the market started to, you know, to go down, in 2018, I started my channel, and when it dropped to almost three grand, that's when I started investing. And my first investment was Bitcoin. Then it went up to 16K, I think. Then it went down, the COVID crash. And on that opportunity, I bought again. And then I started investing in Ethereum, in Ether. And my portfolio, I've got some coins. I've got Bitcoin, I've got Ethereum, I've got Sand. Well, I think you need to be invested in, you know, at least in Bitcoin and Ethereum, at least. Totally. And then you need to invest in the metaverse as well. That's gonna explode. It's exploding right now.
Already, yeah.
But you need to have something or some exposure to the metaverse, to the NFT markets as well. Yeah, there are so many coins, so many projects that are great that you can actually invest, and you might be able to get some nice returns. Investing in crypto is the future. Bitcoin and the market in general is going to stay. This is just starting.
Yes.
It's been, you know, since Bitcoin came out, it's been 11 years, 12 years, more or less. A lot of people, lots of governments, lots of institutions thought that was going to disappear by now. They thought it was a scam, and now they are actually investing in it. And we are early birds. We are early birds. So don't think that it's late. I think it's not late. We are just in the process, and this is going to become much bigger.
Interact with the world and know that it's secure. That you own what you're doing. You can monetize it. Everything is kind of incremental, as well as it compounds over time. This is one of the first general purpose technologies that the world is adopting all at once. Everything before this was in a specific location, like Silicon Valley, or in Britain for the railroads and such like that. Blockchain, crypto, the Web3, it is happening all over the world now. And I don't actually know, I'll be honest, I don't know what the perfect Web3 experience is, but what I do know is that the world is adopting it all at once, and we're going to solve it together. But that also means that the opportunity and innovation is going to be spread globally and not just in one place. And that, for me, gives a lot of hope. The fact that I think somewhere like 20% of some countries in Africa, in Southeast Asia, even in America, 20% of the population have crypto. For me, that's the best leading indicator that the Web3 experience already fulfills a lot of the things that we're looking for.